Hi, I'm Melanie Humphreys, president of the King's University, and I am delighted to be a keynote speaker at the summit. Thank you so much for the invitation. I really am hopeful for our conversations. I think there's so much to talk about in terms of how we dig into how we want to be as a community. And that is tender work, it's holy work. And I think that there's some small lessons that I can bring from the King's University experience. So, my working title for my talk with you is Cultivating a Diverse and Welcoming Community. This is something that's very dear to my heart. It's been a large part of my role here at the King's University. Um, I am a newcomer, if you want to call me a newcomer. I am grafted into the Reformed tradition. And you maybe don't recognize that Humphreys is a Dutch last name, but my great-great-grandparents did actually immigrate to Canada. So here, there you have some street cred. But belonging. This is something which can't happen by chance. It really has to be something that we have to work on. And I don't think I think that it is something we can learn from through the King's story. So I'll be presenting King's story as a bit of a case study for you. We've done some really hard work there, some very public work there, and also some work that you might not be aware of. So I'm looking forward to digging into that a little bit with you and talking about what we've learned, and hopefully um, that can be informative for our conversation. Another one of the things that I'm really excited about during this summit is having a conversation with Paul Verhoef. Paul Verhoef is a community member and a board member, actually, of the King's University, just recent. And I'm looking forward to having that conversation about how we might deal with these challenging times because these conversations are not getting easier. And so how do we navigate some of this conversation with our community members, but also with people looking in and saying, "What are you doing with this topic?" Or how we're going to engage with um, people maybe we don't agree with all at all times. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that conversation with Paul. I think it's going to be a lively discussion. My hope and prayer following this summit is that we would each be more equipped to be able to show up in these conversations in a different way, maybe in a different presence. So, some of the things that I have discovered has been you step into these things with great courage and you don't feel courage at the time. So how can you rest in and maybe be more confident in some of these conversations and how might that help us move forward as a community? I invite you to listen in online. I know that there's a few people from the community who've already contacted me and said they were really excited. They couldn't attend in person, but they were looking forward to checking it out online. So we'll see you there.